Hello, YouTube, and hello to the guy that gets annoyed that I say hello, YouTube. Brent Peeler here with you, coming to you from Thailand. I'm currently in Old Town in the city of Chiang Mai, here in the northern part of Thailand, and I'm really enjoying it. Thought I'd make this quick little video. Several of y'all messaged me asking me the differences and the what I like best, Philippines or Thailand. You know, the land of smiles versus is it funner in the Philippines? So I just, first of all, these are just my opinions. None of this is fact based. This is just my thoughts and feelings about the two different countries. That being said, I don't think you can go wrong with either place. Depends on what you're looking for. If you're more into nightlife and women and that kind of scene, well, then Thailand is definitely your spot. We'll start out Philippines and Thailand. Okay, cost of living. I think the cost of living in Thailand and the Philippines is pretty similar. I really do. Do you get more bang for your buck here in Thailand? Yeah, definitely. I think so. Unless you're in, the state of Manila or Cebu, but I really think you still will get better, nicer accommodations, pool, gym. If you're wanting to go long term, if you're wanting to live in Thailand or Philippines, I really think you would get more bang for your buck in Thailand. The last time I was here, I rented Airbnb. It was a condo style deal. Had everything I wanted. Had the pool, the gym, and all that stuff that you wanted. I did the same thing in the Philippines, in Cebu City, but I really think the Thailand deal was cheaper, but like I say, not enough for that to make a difference unless you're really pinching pennies. And still, I don't think it's enough to pick one or the other. Now the infrastructure, it's hands down Thailand. There's no brownouts here. I've never witnessed a brownout or that kind of stuff. The roads, the transportation is just 10 times better. And I don't mean to be beating up the Philippines. I will say that I would rather drive and not be afraid of getting pulled over and stuff in the Philippines more than Thailand. Here, I won't drive here in Thailand. They drive on the wrong side of the road. I'm from America, so I'm used to driving on the right side. So I would try it, but I've heard too many horror stories about them stopping foreigners, impounding the bikes, and you have to deal with all that headache. I don't worry about that in the Philippines, even though you're supposed to have a Philippines driver's license and motorcycle endorsement. I've never had an issue, and I've never worried about that. But here in Thailand, you don't need transportation. They've got Grab, they've got Bolt. I mean, you can get anywhere I've needed to go for 40 baht. Is the most I've paid for a motorcycle Grab. The Grab cars are very reasonable. If you're in the big cities like Bangkok or whatever, they've got the BTS train. They've got you covered. The biggest crock of shit, or the biggest scam I think going, is these tuk-tuks. And in Philippines, you can get a tricycle and ride in a tricycle for nearly nothing. Here a tuk-tuk is kind of their version of the tricycle. It's more of a three-wheeler or motorcycle type deal with it's a lot more comfortable, I will give them that, but it costs 4 times of what you could get a Grab for, a regular car. And it's mostly, I'm sure their main customers are probably tourists that just want to say that they've rode in a tuk-tuk, but definitely overpriced, overhyped. Wouldn't bother me if they'd done away with them completely. Where in the Philippines, I like seeing the tricycles. I like riding in a tricycle every once in a while. So keep that in mind. But the overall transportation, I would have to give to Thailand, just because you can take a bus from north to south, south to north. You can fly in and out of these airports. You don't have to worry about taking ferries and that kind of stuff. So that's more of a geographical bonus for Thailand. because the Philippines, you can take a bus anywhere in the Philippines. You just got to stop and take a ferry too, and that can be time consuming and can really add more cost to your travel and that sort of thing. So infrastructure, transportation, I'd have to give to Thailand. Language. I've not had an issue with language in either country. I will say that I just stayed around in the tourist areas here in Thailand, and there's no issue. I mean, there's sometimes I've had to use translator, but it's all these apps and gadgets, you won't have trouble communicating. But in the Philippines, it's their second language. Sure, there's Filipinas and Filipinos that struggle with English, just like there's lots of Thais, don't know English here, and it usually, if a Thai lady speaks pretty good English, she's probably been in the city for a while, and you know what I'm saying. So it's not like you can just come to Thailand and meet a good girl and be able to communicate like you can a Filipina. The Filipinas have been learning English their whole lives. Probably a lot of them are not, comfortable or confident in speaking it, but most of them are. I'd say 90% of the ones I've met, it's never been an issue, and so I would give the language definitely the Philippines. So the Philippines gets a plus there. Thailand, like I say, if you're just coming, you want to stick around the cities, you won't have an issue. But just remember, if you're coming over here for dating or to meet women or to find the love of your life, that the love of your life is going to probably be well went through by the time you find her, because she don't know English until she's played the game for a while. So keep that in mind. And then I'm not bashing. It is what it is. Rules and regulations. I kind of spoke about this earlier. I won't drive in Thailand just because of just because I've heard horror stories about them stopping foreigners and giving you a pretty hefty fine for, say driving without a license or something like that. And it's just not something that I'm willing to put myself through with the transportation being so easy to get to. I don't know a lot of the rules. They've got some crazy laws here in the kingdom, the land of smiles. It's the land of smiles, the land of happy endings, the land of whatever. But it is illegal to walk outside or to go outside without wearing underwear. So go figure. I don't know all the laws. You can smoke marijuana here. You can't you can't bring a vape into the country. So I think buying a vapes, I think they're illegal to buy too. I mean, you can buy them pretty much anywhere you want to go. Hell, I bought one today. It's not hidden or nothing, but I have heard horror stories about you don't want to bring one into the country. So, like I said, before I came to Thailand, I threw all mine away and just bought more when I got here. You don't have. I kind of getting off topic here. You don't have the selection that I'm used to, and that's probably just because I'm in Thailand, not the Philippines or the United States. So, but the rules and regulations, like I say, I'm not up on them enough here in Thailand. I do know they have weird ones. I do know that a lot of it is common sense. You go somewhere, you see a bunch of shoes outside, kick shoes off. Philippines is the same way. Lots of places or homes in the Philippines, people don't wear their shoes in, and us Westerners are not used to kicking off our shoes. So if you see a pile of shoes at the door, kick yours off too, and you'll be good to go. And a lot of times they'll tell you, yeah, you don't have to do that, or yeah, thank you, I appreciate you doing that. It's a respect deal. So when in Rome, do as the Romans do, I guess is my advice. But definitely, that's one thing that I wish I would have took care of before I left my home country. I don't ride a motorbike in the United States, so I wouldn't even know how to go about getting my international driver's license. I could get an international driver's license, but it still wouldn't have the motorcycle endorsement on me. Correct me if I'm wrong, put it in the comments. on what that entails? Would you have to buy a motorcycle or rent a motorcycle just long enough to take your motorcycle test back in the United States just to get a motorcycle endorsement so you could then get an international driver's license? I don't know. I should have looked into that because it would have saved. And if you're thinking of coming to Southeast Asia, it would behoove you to go ahead and get you an international driver's license, especially with the motorcycle permit or the motorcycle endorsement. I sure wish I would have took care of that. I know I rode across Vietnam, didn't have an issue, but I was scared to death that I was going to get stopped, and because their fines is probably $80 to $100, something like that, and I forget the exact number. I knew it when I was driving through Vietnam because I was worried I was going to get stopped, and they pretty much told me I was going to get stopped. But in Vietnam, it's like a one-stop deal. They stop you, give you a ticket, and then they're done harassing you. But I don't know if it's been 2 or 3 weeks since you've had a ticket, they might start all over again. Luckily, I didn't have to go through that. I went to one roadblock when I was about to turn my motorcycle in. I drove all over the country, all up and down Vietnam, and was pulling into Hanoi. And I get pulled over. I get into a little roadblock, and I guess they was checking for drinking and driving because the Thai guy or the Vietnamese motorcycle or the cop just told me to take off, and I did. I hauled ass and thought, man, I've made it all over the country, and on my way, my last 30 minutes, I'm going to have to pay a big fine and whatever. But I didn't. But anyway, moving on. Get your international driver's license. Take care of that. That's something that would sure enough, no matter which country you go to, it's better to be safe than sorry. Visas. I would have to give this one to the Philippines. Everybody's scared of the visa situation. What's coming down the line? Is it something? Is it nothing? I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I don't think they even. The best I was there for nearly 6 months, and I never had any issues of getting one. I know that they're asking a lot more questions, but that's 6 months. Here in Thailand, you get 2 months upon entry. For most countries, you better check your country. I'm a U.S. citizen, so I got 2 months, and then I can extend for 30 days. It's not gonna be necessary, but if I lived here full time, that would be definitely something that I would look into, because a border run every 90 days, that would probably get old, depending on how far you are from a border. Whether that be from taking a bus or flying to a new country. Like I say, I'm leaving next week, so it's not an issue for me. I'll have been here a month, and like I say, but if you're thinking about living here full time, definitely give that some thought. A bunch of people in the comments were, you're not going to Cambodia, blah blah blah. I'm in Southeast Asia, folks. I am right here in the heart of it all. I'm not halfway around the world like I was in the United States. I am right here, so I'm going to go back to the Philippines, and I'm going to enjoy it for a while. And if when it gets old again, I'm going to go on another trip. And I don't want to knock out all my goals in the same trip. Do I want to get to Cambodia? Definitely. And I hope to do it. It's not the end of the world. It's like I say, it's right here handy. It's just going to be a different way of going about it. If I was going to do it the way I wanted to do it, or if I wanted to knock it out, all my goals out, or the places I'd like to see, I would have tackled this a whole different journey. I've been to Taiwan, I've been to Japan, I've been to Vietnam, I've been to Thailand, I've been to Philippines, and I've bounced back. The weirdest, and this has been two different times over here across the pond. But if I was going to start in Southeast Asia, pick you a starting point and just do the circle. You can you could probably hit 6 or 7 different countries and no take over an hour flight or an hour and a half or whatever. But I would start in Indonesia, hit Malaysia, Singapore, and just hit Thailand and on over to Cambodia, maybe Laos, maybe not, maybe Vietnam, and then back to the Philippines. that would be the perfect way to do it. But I don't want to be gone that long. And like I say, I'm going back to the Philippines, and the Philippines is the Philippines. So I'll probably be ready to leave in 6 months or a month or two, or may have to go back to the United States to handle some business around the first of the year, or might even want to go home for some Thanksgiving, and so none of that's out of the question. But the visa deal, I would definitely give to the Philippines, even though people are scared. Sorry for getting off topic or whatever, but the food, definitely the land of smiles. The land of smiles. That's, Thai food is known all over the world. All over the world they serve Thai. I've never been to another country, or if I have, I didn't look for Filipino food. It's not something. Sure, before y'all give me hell in the comments, I've had some awesome Filipino food, whatever you want to call it. Yes, but I have not. When it's on a scale from Philippines to Thailand, it's just, for me, it's night and day. Maybe my palate. You may prefer Filipino food over Thai food. Me, not so much. And I'm not one that jumps out there and tries a lot of exotic new shit. I just, I'm a creature of habit. I like what I like, and I usually order that. I have tried some Filipino food, and I've loved some Filipino food. There's several dishes that I really enjoy, but it's not, it's one of those things that I'm not a seafood guy, so that's kind of a strike in either country. They're big on seafood here in this part of the world. So to me, if it come out of the ocean, that's like eating insects to me. Anything that's got an outer skeleton, I call that a bug. And yet that's one of the only seafoods that I like is shrimp, and I got to peel the damn outer bug shell off of it just to eat it. Clean little shit vein out of the back. So I'm not a big seafood guy. So keep that in mind if that's something that you enjoy, then you won't have no trouble in either country. But like I say, I'm not big on seafood, so I like American food. I'm an American. You can get both. You can get Filipino food and American food in the Philippines, but you're going to pay more. Here in Thailand, I don't. I've ate at Taco Bell twice since I've been here, and handled my little craving, and I'm back to Thai food. I just really enjoy the Thai food. So for me, Thailand wins on the food down. Now, all that being said, Thailand won a lot of those categories, but I'm headed back to the Philippines. And why am I headed back? I think for the people. I know, hands down, the people. There are great people here in Thailand. I'm not saying there's not, but I just don't know them. I know a bunch of people in the Philippines, expats, Filipinas, and to me, the people in the Philippines are just. I've never been anywhere in the world that they're as friendly as they are in the Philippines. And I'm like I say, I don't drink anymore, so it's harder for me to meet people. I don't have that liquid confidence that I used to have. So it takes me longer to meet people nowadays. But it's so easy. It's so easy to meet people in the Philippines, whether it be men, women, whatever you want to meet, friends or girlfriends or whatever. There is a big difference in women. Beautiful women in both countries. I'm talking about, I love Asian women. I love Asian women, and I love Mexican women. There's something about their skin tone. In America, everybody wants dark skin. In all these other countries, they try to bleach their skin. I don't get that, but I think the Asian women are beautiful. I just really do. People, you meet good people in both countries. I'm not saying you're not, but when it comes to women, it's kind of a predator/prey deal. Over here, you feel like the hunted. In the Philippines, you feel like the hunter, because a Filipina, or a good one, a good one, is not gonna act the way they act here. And I've only been to the main tourist places here, but sex is definitely an industry here in Thailand, and that's all fun and fine and all, it's really awesome. And I know before y'all start, I'm sure there's good women all over Thailand. But I'm just, if you're here for a vacation or if you're here for a month, I don't think that's giving yourself long enough time to meet one of them, unless you're a very lucky person. And just, first there's the language barrier, unless they've been here long enough, or in the city's big enough, what that comes with. So keep that in mind. Filipinas, I have to give it to the Filipinas. I don't like a woman to have tattoos. It's just my preference. I'm not judging the ones that do. That's just not my scene. I don't like plastic surgery. I don't like fake. I like natural. And there's a lot of fake shit here in Thailand. I will just tell you, it's so fake and it's so hard to. I thank God every day that I don't drink, because there's some of these I couldn't tell you if there's lots of women over here with big hands and feet, if you get my picture. And if I was drinking or drunk or shit, it would scare me to death. You definitely want to give them the old crocodile Dundee test before you take one home, or you wind up with funky comedina. And the way I've heard it is there's surgeries and shit now that you might not even know then. So I'm definitely looking at their old bear claws, their old hands and feet before I would even consider, and having that in the back of your mind, it's just not for me. Now, that being said, Chiang Mai is a lot more laid back than the rest of the places I've been, but it gets wild here too. I mean, at least they go to sleep here. I think the bars shut down at 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm sure that they close the doors and probably stay open a little longer. But they're like little pubs. They're like little beer drinking joints. And that's more my vibe. There's pool tables. But you walk into one of those places, and it's like, bam, you got an instant girlfriend. You got one on you, follows you in and tries to start kissing on you and all that. And it's all for one goal. They want you to take them. They want you to take them out of there. It's low key. It's different than the main walking streets and the go-go bars and all that kind of stuff. But it's the same. They've got the same outcome in mind. I mean, you're fooling yourself if you think you go into one of those places and 2 minutes later you got one hugged up all over you. There's an end game, and they're there to make money, and that's fine. That's fine. There's lots here to spend the money. Lots of people here to spend the money that way, and it's just you don't have to worry. You either don't have to worry about that in the Philippines, or you can't find that in many places in the Philippines. Like I say, I mean, there's people looking for that. So the ones in the Philippines, a lot of them have trouble finding it, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for that, this is definitely the place to be. If you're not looking for that, and you want something that means something, then I would say Philippines is your place. There's scammers in both, so I'm not saying, I'm not, it takes a little luck to find a good one. So in any country, I don't care if it's United States, Philippines, Mexico, Thailand, it takes some luck. You hear beautiful, wonderful stories about people that and good for them, but don't think you're going to come to any country and not have to put in a little work to find what you're looking for. So keep that in mind. But overall, I think if you're wanting something more real, and that's good, that's a pro and a con about here in Thailand, because they can make you feel like it is everything that you want. But just remember that is their job to make you feel that way, and they're good at it. And so, to each their own. If that's what you're looking for, come get it. It's here. Is there games and stuff in the Philippines? Definitely. Are you looked at, as the first thing you're looked at as a step up, as a little as a money deal, and it's that way in the United States. So don't pretend that it's not in the United States. So I thought it was a lot slower here in Chiang Mai. Last night I went out. I'll tell you a quick little story. I went out. I was laying here, and I've been doing real good about my diet and stuff, and I was wide awake about 3 o'clock in the morning last night. And like I say, the 7-Eleven's just about 50 yards. So I thought, well, hell, I'm gonna go get me one of them sandwiches. I went, and this is 3 in the morning, and walk outside. It's all quiet. I get to 7-Eleven, buy my sandwich, get me a soda pop. Coming back to the hotel, there's a damn scooter with 2 people on the back, or 2 people riding the scooter. They haul ass up on me. You know, I was hearing some yelling. Hey, I didn't know who in the hell they was talking to. And I looked around. Hell, I'm on one on the street, or on the sidewalk, and they're hauling ass towards me. And I've watched a bunch of them Pablo Escobar documentaries where they come by and shoot your ass on the back of a motorbike. So hell, I was looking around like, what the hell? And that's when I realized it was 2 Thai women on a motorcycle hauling ass and yelling to me, and stopped right there and tried to solicit me sex and other things. Of course, it was after hours. You know, I guess they probably get off at 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever. But she said 500 baht, 500 baht. And you know, she wasn't the best looking Thai lady that I've ever seen, and so I just looked at her. Ugh. How about 250? Anyway, I'm just kidding about the 250 part. I just told them no, that I was good, and I hurried up, got here in my hotel room, and so keep that in mind. Even though Chiang Mai, it's everywhere in Thailand. You know, you will not. It'll come looking for you. That's where I come back to. You are the hunted, not the hunter. You are the prey here, my boy, not the predator. And you can come over with that Captain Save-A-Ho attitude, thinking you're going to take one out of, you know, she's had bad luck, blah, blah. These girls do what they want to do. They're not, a lot of them might have come here because of poverty or whatever, but I'm telling you, they're right where they want to be. And if you come over here with that Captain Save-A-Ho attitude, well, you're just going to be another sucker. You're going to be another notch on their belt. You wind up with sponsors sending them money, and there's several of these women got several people sending them money every month just because they made you feel like it was the perfect experience. You found the love of your life. So keep that in mind. And that's for any country, not just they're damn good at it here in Thailand. Don't give them your phone number. Don't take them to your hotel. Lots of bad things can happen. You know, sure, it'll be quiet. You know, you have a rendezvous with one of them. Everything's good to go. You think, you know, everything's was just another night. Then the next thing you know, your old hotel room phone starts ringing, and you're thinking, well, who in the hell could that be at 3 in the morning? Well, you're not even a second thought of them until they don't find a customer that night, and then it's I love you, and this is not this is not coming from. So I hear. Let's just put it that way. So I hear. But anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's just my thoughts on Thailand and the Philippines. And yes, I will be headed back to the Philippines. When I go back to the United States, I've got more. I'm going to plan me another trip to Mexico if and when I get back. And I'll probably have to go back. And like I say, I'm a big Thanksgiving fan, so it'll either be Thanksgiving or Christmas around the 1st. You know, hadn't decided, but I'm headed back to the Philippines, and the main reason why is because of the people. I love the people. I love the laid back, lots of little towns with the little Mayberry feel to them, and that's what I'm after right now, folks. I'm going to try to get back, try to get some medical issues looked at, and after that, who knows? Hope y'all enjoyed the video. This is Brent Strippin. Peace.